Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing the top 5 favorite decks of April 2025. So today's the day when we take a look back at last month and we find the 5 decks that I thought were my personal favorites of the ones that I played. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Commonly Good MTG. I am your host. All glory to the Hypnotoad, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and it's Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Woo woo. Yeah, so the deal is, like I said in the intro, is that at the beginning of each month, I like to take a look at the last month and say, out of the decks I played in that month, which decks were my favorite to play. They weren't necessarily the best. They weren't necessarily the biggest win rate, but they were my favorites. There's something fun or interesting about those decks. So we've crunched the numbers, we've looked back, we've consulted with the Oracle, and we got the list. So without further ado, let's get on to the first deck. We're going to play against potatoes. Potatoes. All right, we got one creature in this mix. I have to sacrifice a creature to use that. All right, let's get on it. Super. I know who I'll sacrifice when it comes down to it. I got enough of that. We're cool. All right, instead of doing 1 point of damage, I did 1 point of damage. Of course, I could have put a dude out too, but whatever. Yoink. And let's put our guy out. All right, a little bit more mana. I don't really need it, but we'll see. I don't know what this guy's fighting with my guys over. My guys are wusses right now. I have nothing to behold, so you'll just have to suck it. All right, there we go. 2! Is it instant? All right, we can do that still. There's a guy that deserves to be killed. Let's go retire that guy. Where's filling his graveyard with dead creatures? Making a compost pile there. That is sorcery. I gotta wait till his turn before I can nail somebody. Alright, fine. I'm still left with 3. Your graveyard is empty. Oh, let's see if we can find a guy. I'd like to have a little bit more guys. You're just gonna bounce me again, huh? You're making a copy of it. I need to start sacrificing that land. I got to go find myself a dragon. All right, gone. Sure, man. You want to kill your guy? We'll just trade off, I guess. How does Mobilize come back from the grave to kill my guy? That's not right. Let's just go get a dragon at this point. All right, 11 more turns. All right, he's doing 7 per turn. That's not great. Life gain. Come on, man. What's your problem? All right, down 13. Up to 2 cards, huh? No graveyard for you. All right, what are you doing, bouncy bouncers in? All my guys are flying. I got enough to kill him. He doesn't have any, oh, he does have a little bit of reach right there. Nice to get some removal. And it's called Death Touch. What are you going to take out? The 4/4? And a single down. We still got lethal showing up this turn. Did he get what he needs in his hand? Or are we going to see a P-Pants? P-Pants! A creature. You can whiff. That'd be really nice. What you need is you need a guy with a reach. I don't think that's going to do it for you, baby. All right, I can still do 4. And we win! In your face, Davy Jones. In your face. All right, so we are Tarkir Black. What is it I like about Tarkir Black? What I like about it is it's a mono black deck. I'm a big fan of mono black decks. The only problem is mono black decks, once they hit a stride, they become static. You really can't mess around with them too much. They're just the same thing over and over again. And they get boring. What I like about this is all new cards. I mean, 90%, something like that, is new cards. Just a shade of control, just to provide the level of control we're looking for. But everything after that is Tarkir. So it's an opportunity to play with new stuff and to just have a good time with a new black deck, which is fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, it's got a good amount of control. It's got some clever little tricks into it. You get to do a little bit of mobilize, play around with dragons. Some of the Tarkir control is in here, which is nice. And lots of flying. Lots of flying. So altogether, you know, it's mono black doing mono black does best, which is a bunch of, like a Swiss Army knife of stuff. Some people complain that black has everything. It's way too powerful. This deck is focused on what Tarkir can do, and it's a refreshing deck to play. All right, so there you go. One of my favorite decks for April of 2025, Tarkir Black. I'm playing against JoaoMouro. That's a lot of O's in your name, my friend. Joao. Something like that. Keep. All right, where are we going? 3-3-3. We've got a little bit of 2 right there. This one flashes out. Anything slow we got to worry about? Not really. All right, let's let it go. We'll flash out on this guy's turn. Welcome down. All right, let's Urabrask Forge. All right, cool. The question is whether I want to keep the Cathar back just for defense or not. I'm all right. I'm thinking I'm going to go full aggro in this situation. Yeah, see, that would have been good just to kill off the Sinkhole at that particular point. If I want to get rid of it, I kind of got to get rid of it on this turn. Do I have the mana? I could get rid of that too. Maybe that's the thing to do. Pop it. Get rid of the Sinkhole. That sounds like a lot to get rid of at that particular point, but I'm laying down my dominance. Don't forget this guy. What is he? Only 3? I could use him right now if I wanted to. We are going to go ahead and Screaming Nemesis, though. You gonna kill the Nemesis while you got the opportunity? There you go. All right, Urabrask Forge, do what you do best. Just grind him down. You're getting strong, my friend. Sounds like he's waiting around. Oh, let's just put out the authority. That's fantastic. Oh, I got plenty to do everything. Put it on yourself. You're worth it, my friend. There we go. Down to 3. He's going to take it next turn. He puts a guy out. It'll just be... Any guys he put out will be tapped. He's got a 0 defense. He's got to take out the Urabrask Forge. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room. Boom, boom. All right, here we are with our aggro control V2. It's funny, I like to say I'm an aggro player and hate control, but this has the right kind of control. I mean, Day of Judgment, Sunfall, I feel kind of embarrassed playing those, but like Authority of the Consuls, yeah, that is fantastic. Because of the way that it completely nips, you know, any sort of aggro against us. Anybody comes out, they don't get haste. They get nothing, none of the above right there. We got the ability to take out individuals. Yep, we're all good right there. But we get our hasty guys. Urabrask Forge, Screaming Nemesis, just coming out. We're just eliminating the board, making sure that they can't do anything. Overlord of the Boilerbilges is so fantastic. It's just when you're playing red, you're usually trying to play aggro. That's the reason we don't see it. And at whatever it is, 6 to put out, 4 for the impending cost. He's just not aggro level. But in this case, putting out a couple, in fact, you could probably choke back on this guy and boost up something else if you wanted to. Put in some other sort of hasty guys, maybe at the early level, like he's kind of boring at this point. The Prowess Monk or whatever, right? Yeah, you could do something like that. This guy's really just here, so you have something to do if you manage to make it to mid-game. Wiping the board otherwise. Anyways, this might just be my favorite deck of April. I think we played Aggro Control V1. We ended up playing Aggro Control V2. Yeah, it's just so incredibly good, and it just speaks towards my particular sensibilities. It's a wonderful deck. It's almost inevitable that it's going to win. Yeah, what can people do? Not a whole lot. It is so good. So there you go. Aggro Control V2. All right, we're playing against yohuki, something like that. We have no black. This might be bad. I'm going to go ahead and say mulligan. All right. I mean, that's barely better. I'll keep it. And let's get rid of that guy. All right. No bear. No green crystal for you. I love that bug. All right, we can put our artifacts out for cheaper. We got the synthesizer right there. I think we just play it. Apparently we can't. What is this for? Only activate abilities, huh? All right, next. Nothing to do. Boy, I hope we pick up a man on this next turn. I need it badly. There we go. And don't be a jerk, man. No. Yes. Yeah, the courage is a bad deal. I can't really get rid of it. It's just going to sit there and give haste to everything and +2/+0. All right, we're ready to start putting out some guys. I can start sacrificing things for the repurposing bay. Turning that into a 3, which will give me the simulacrum. So I can pick up another simulacrum if I can pick up another mana. Look at that green arrow pointing straight at his head. Nothing for you, bear. Look at it right there. Look at it. All right, yohuki, what's going on? Dragon. I did get it. Should I just do it? Simulacrum. No, and sure, that sounds good. I'd like to play Demonic Junker as it is. Smoke. And we win! That's just the way this deck goes. Overwhelming power. Victory! Alright, so here we are with Artifact Tribal. Yeah, what is Boommobile doing in here? I don't know. I need red mana for it from someplace. Obviously, something like the Radiant Lotus is providing the power for it. Sure. There you go. Some other stuff. I don't think Boommobile needs to be in here, but yeah, sure. Somebody thought it was at one point. I did not put this deck together. We have other sources to do it. I would probably pick something else. You know, maybe another packed Doll Terror. Should we put that instead of the Boommobile? Could be. But, I mean, it's a great deck. Usually when you're playing, like, with Simulacrum Synthesizer, you're playing Azorius, right? So it's blue and white. What I like is this one does it with black. I like the fact we got Demonic, Junker and the Pack Doll and Tithing Blade and Grim Bauble. I like the way that Repurposing Blade is able to bring things in at 1 point stronger than what it currently is. Like working your way up the ladder so you get more and more synthesizers out. And then once you get those full out, you start throwing down other things with 3 or more. Lots of great artifacts to play with up here. I mean, it's just a good artifact deck is such a great way to go. Yeah, so Boommobile can be played by the Repurposing Bay. You don't need the mana for this. You can bring it out that way. And then at this point, this deals X damage to any player where put a Popo counter. Yeah, you can just pump all the mana you want to straight instinct to blow things up. And you had 4 mana of any color. Yeah. So anyways, there's lots of opportunities to play Boommobile. It looks weird in this deck, but it's there. So anyways, this was a fun deck. I enjoyed it. It worked well. And the good thing about a nice Simulacrum deck is the fact that when it goes off, it goes off. And there's just it's like an avalanche. And people see it coming. If you got people that are able to like destroy your artifacts, sure, you got a problem. That's not that strong. There's not a lot of anti-artifact hate out there right now. There's a lot of non-land hate, and that's what can go after that as well. But still, it's usually not as bad as it has been in the most recent years. All right, so there you go. Artifact Tribal, one of my favorite decks of April 2025. All right, playing against Wonderweiss. Wonderweiss, what is the secret of your power? All right, we gotta get this red out so we can start playing these guys on the 1-drop. We let the C3PO do his thing. He's not an annoying pet. I do appreciate your respect. You did a good job. Thank you. All right, let's see what he does. You gonna block? Nope. All right, we'll drop this out. Got Warleader's Call in the next turn. All right, come at me, brah. I know you're pumping. Pump it up. Pump it up. Get your booty on the dance floor. No attacks. We'll leave it. I don't have any tricks available to me with all my mana taps, so I'll wait till next turn before I do something tricksy. I will do something tricksy. You're going to love it. 2. See who else has got sheltered by ghosts. And here comes a bunch more damage, suckerfish. Here comes Smackdown. Down to 10. That was 10 points in 1 turn. All right, we got another shelter by ghost on us. Otherwise, we could probably just win. Because we do at least 10 if we got everything we got there. All right, you could kill one of my guys. That's it. That guy's got ward. You're not taking him down. Okay, I've got 4 mana. I don't know if I can do this. It'll be +3 over what we got going on. Yeah, we can win this thing. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it! I thought I was going to get more guys out of the deal. Oh well. We'll just have to play this like a sucker. If he turns the game right now, I'll be so incredibly mad. Don't be squealing at me, second-rate C3PO. I got 2 guys hitting for 3. That's a problem for you. Or this guy's a 2, not a 3. Sorry. 1 guy, so you got to kill off my guy with get your guy back and steal him. Is that really going to do it for you? You got to sit there and do nothing. You're not attacking, are you? You're not going to like this, man, at all. And we win! Boros mobilize. Victory! Alright, so we are with Boros Mobilize V2 version 2. Yeah, I know. When Tarkir Dragonstorm came out, the first thing I played with was Mobilize deck. I had no idea what Mobilize did, but I love them because they kind of remind me of Urabrask Forge. Their guys only last one turn. They're very suicidal. They're like me sinks, right? Mr. Me sinks, look at me. And they existence is painful. They just want to come out, do what they're there to do, and then just cease to exist. They are so fantastic. What I really like about decks like this, Authority of the Consul, of course, is a fantastic card, is Elspeth. When you that doubles the amount of cards or dudes you're generating with Mobilize. You pack it together with Impact Trimmers and War Leader's Call. It's just a cascade of thunderous damage. Frontline Rush, incredibly good card if you're a good aggro player. And the rest of these cards all work out great. Carrot Cake's probably one of my least favorites in here. But still, it's got its purposes. It just feels a little dull, while everything else in here is just action-packed. So anyways, I think I played this like yesterday or something. But it still ended up being one of my favorite decks of April 2025. All right, we're playing against the last Caesarian. The last Caesarian. 1, 2, 3. Rest in peace. All right. These things are expensive. Hopefully we'll get someplace. No, go bot. And we're just sitting here with the rest in peace. Not sure it's worth us playing it, really. Portal of Phyrexia, it just depends what his deck is. Rest in Peace could be the greatest card in the world. He's playing with these colors, unless he's going to start bringing things back from the graveyard. It's not really worth worrying about. I got to worry about man lands more than anything else. I'm not too worried about that. We got 6 showing, get it to 7, we can actually do something. Manifest Dread. Dreads, huh? Alright, remind me to make a might on his turn. Wow, that worked out well. There we go, we got a guy out. Nothing we could do. Rest in peace, I'm still not sure. Should we do it? Let's do it. Nope, because I never get anything back. If I'm going to get back Gulta, I got to survive the turn is what I got to do. All right, let's just leave it. Okay, you could do 15 points of damage to me right now. All right, my turn. Let's lay it down. Here we go. Well, I wish I could do Pearl of Phyrexia. It's not going to work, though. What else can we do here? I can gain life and draw a card. That might be for the best. All right, cool. And no attacks. I can wipe the board. I can probably do a full Portal of Phyrexia on the next turn. Made it up to 8. Hopefully it doesn't double his damage in one turn. Cloak a card from your hand. I don't even know what that is. Cloak? Add the mana. Portal up. Oh. And do this. Oh, this is ridiculous. I grabbed the wrong card. This guy. Sure, let's do it. Oh, I did the right card. Never mind. I thought I did a double Ugin, but it was just Ugin doing what Ugin does best. Get him! And we win! Oh, I thought I was going to have to pee my pants there for a second. Victory! All right, here we are with Eye of the Storm. And Eye of the Storm it's an interesting deck. I mean, that's why I liked it. It was just weird to play. The other thing is I love playing with like Portal of Phyrexius, Cityscape Leveler, Darksteel Colossus. Man, I love it from the olden days. But you always had to find tricksy ways of getting this out. And this deck doesn't go tricksy. It's like clearly like I am going to build 11 mana and you can play Darksteel Colossus. That's strange, right? So, and that's cool, but it's like you have to get to like 7 mana to make this deck go. And what's going to protect you along the way? Split Up, Day of Judgment, Sunfall, 3, 4, 5. And Rest in Peace is a fantastic card against the right kind of deck. Otherwise, it's just complete trash that you don't want to do anything with. Because it completely hurts, what is it, Portal of Phyrexia. If they don't have a graveyard to pull from, Portal of Phyrexia does nothing but brings your own guys back. Now, your guys are pretty cool, so maybe it's well worth doing anyways. But I still wait on this until I see what kind of deck they're playing. So it's a mana ramp deck, and you're ramping up as hard as you can with these little dudes you got right there, provided you can. But if you don't get them in the right order, this deck can stall out pretty hard. But anyways, why do we play this deck? Because it's interesting, it's weird, and it's fun. That's the thing. I mean, look at that. It's like 7 is the easy part. You're still trying to get up to 8, 9, 10, and 11. That is nuts. But luckily, if you can get up to 7, you can get up to 10. So the only thing you have a problem with is Darksteel Colossus. You just have to pick up at least 6 and an Ugin to be able to get there. Not a 6, 8 mana and an Ugin to be able to get Darksteel out. Whatever, man. It all works. It's all super cool, and it's nice playing what feels like essentially a colorless deck. All right, so there you go. One of my favorite decks of April 2025, Eye of the Storm. All right, and here we are with my top favorite decks of April 2025. What are they again? It's Tarkir Black, Aggro Control V2, Artifact Tribal, Boros Mobilize V2, and Eye of the Storm. I like to pay attention to the people who built these decks. So I gotta thank MTG Assistant Meta, Hail, and Cujo Fatfinger for their contribution to this month's awesome deck list. I got a couple decks in there of my own. That was cool. I always like it when I put together decks I happen to like, but it's nice when you build stuff you like yourself. Cool. It's a good way to go. All right, so probably my favorite deck out of these is probably Aggro Control. It just feels so good to play it. Normally I like a good Rakdos deck because it has Urabrask Forge in it, but Aggro Control, Urabrask Forge in there too, and we're using white to do the control rather than black. Plus, there's a lot of good white tricks inside this, so Boros Control doing a good job with Aggro Control V2. Other than that, the rest of the decks are just fun. They're good to play, and they're interesting, which is something that is hard to say is applied towards all the decks you can play with nowadays. A lot of things are just really derivative of each other. For the longest time, it was all soldier, soldier, soldier. Right now, it appears to be like mice, mice, mice. All you can do is just stay away from them and find something more interesting to play with. All right, so that was my favorite decks for April of 2025. If you decide to play with any of these decks, I hope that you have as much fun as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.